This Montgomery County mother accused of abandoning her two children was all smiles when she was arrested 3 states away.
Yeah, kind of a bizarre photo there. Well, officers found Raven Yates in Alabama more than 2 months after she vanished.
ABC 13's Brianna Connor is getting new facts on her arrest. And Brianna, what's next for this woman?
Raven Yates still needs to be processed in Mobile, Alabama, before she's brought back here to Montgomery County to face the charges against her. Detectives working this case had been looking for Yates for about 3 months. I'm told law enforcement in Mobile had to break down the bedroom door of an older man's apartment to find her.
The popularity of it got a lot of people interested in it.
Raven Yates gained thousands of followers and has been trending on social media ever since she made headlines for accusations of abandonment. Roman Forest police say she left her 12-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son all alone for 2 months. Investigators say they had to fend for themselves with little food or medicine at this house on Maplewood Ridge Drive while Yates lived in Alabama.
I've never seen anything like that, and I've never seen anybody play into the camera and play into the social media as she has.
The entire time, Yates was posting provocative images like these online while fully aware there was a warrant out for her arrest. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle says tips poured in from the public, and that's what eventually led to her arrest in Mobile. This photo capturing Yates in cuffs and seemingly unbothered by the allegations that she put her own children in danger.
I think was playing for the camera. She wanted to have a smile. She wanted to look good.
Yates' 12-year-old is with her father, who lives out of state. Police say the child was afraid to tell her dad what was happening at first because she was worried she'd be separated from her brother, who has a different dad. At last check, Yates' other children were safe with relatives while she prepares to head back home now.
We're waiting for her to be extradited back to Montgomery County, and then, of course, we'll be able to interview her and find out her side of the story, and we'll go from there.
If convicted, she could spend 20 years behind bars and away from social media attention. In Montgomery County, I'm Brianna Connor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Yep, Raven Yates. Raven Yates, who abandoned her children over 2 months ago, has been apprehended and arrested and shit by the U.S. Marshals in Alabama. And supposedly, take it with a grain of salt. All the details have yet to come out. She was hiding in some old dude's apartment, like some old simp's apartment and shit. She was there. And, there's a picture of her being arrested and shit. Some people say it's a picture from an earlier arrest, but I just kind of like it because, it fits, okay? This woman is a classic example why you need to protect your fucking seed, okay? You need to protect your generations, okay? We need to take that serious, okay? I know some of you guys out there want to ski and all that bullshit, but you have to protect you have to play safe, okay? This is a cautionary tale and shit. A lot of men made bad decisions when they had children with this woman, okay? This woman's a prostitute, okay? Plain and simple. I just want to say it's a prostitute. She wears a lot of hats, but first and foremost, she is a prostitute, okay? This was no Julia Roberts sleeping with the enemy situation or whatnot. A lot of women, a lot of black women have caped for this woman, even though she abandoned her fucking babies and shit, okay? She left her babies alone. She could have DoorDashed them some food, she could have ordered some food from Walmart and sent it to the house, but supposedly they were on slim supplies. She disputes this, of course. She put up a post that showed a refrigerator full of food, but you know how fast food can go when children are involved, especially unsupervised children and shit. And she left a 12-year-old to care for a 3-year-old and shit. All right, and the father of her middle child found out and shit because somebody snitched. Her own mother, I believe, snitched her out. So he flew there and got the authorities involved, got his kid, and the other kids have been, they're living with the family members, and I have a problem with that. They should put them kids in foster care, okay? Just the fact that this woman is able to move about like that, and the family members, ain't nobody going over there checking on her or nothing, okay? I don't know what kind of life she's living or toxic she is that nobody would go over and check on these children or call the house or anything. They said the 12-year-old was covering for the mother and shit. I believe that and shit, okay? All right, this is a codependent relationship that is an abomination of the family unit. All right, and I'm glad she was busted and shit. I had much mirth looking at her face, her Instagram posts. Well, she was posting continuously, and the minute she went viral, she raised the prices for her used up, busted peace sleeve. Okay, her box, she priced up that box, man. Okay, all right, and you see a lot of different pictures. I want you to note that, like, you'll see a lot of different pictures of her, and each one of them, she looks like a different woman in the pictures, and each one of those is accurate as shit. A lot of these women have untreated mental conditions. All right, untreated. They got trauma and all that bullshit. I'm not saying this in no kind of sympathetic, atmosphere or light. I'm trying to put light on it and shit. But I'm glad these children are out of her care and shit. And I hope they throw the fucking book at her. Just on general principle alone, she's damaged like three generations of kids. So you have the 14-year-old, the 12-year-old, and the 3-year-old. They have to carry that trauma with them and shit for the rest of their goddamn lives, no matter how much therapy they get. Okay, that shit's gonna manifest some kind of fucking way. Alright, one of them may follow in her footsteps in her profession. Who knows? The 14-year-old ran away before the shit went down. Alright? Man, fuck that 14-year-old either. Fuck that 14-year-old girl. Fuck her. She could have called child services on her own mother. You know, when she ran away, she should have snitched so that they could be cared for, so that they could put the dogs on her mom and shit. I don't give a fuck. Nobody has any loyalty today. Our community is just off the fucking rails and shit. It's like Lord of the Flies over there and shit. And a lot of these goddamn women can't course correct. They're fucked up. They're socialized for dysfunction and disaster and shit. Okay, and I'm saying this. I'm kind of bitching and ranting because a lot of women were putting the blame on the father that showed up for his kid. They're putting the blame on him and shit. And this guy actually cohabitated with her and put a roof over their head, and he was taking care of all them goddamn kids. He was a stepdaddy season, a stepdaddy season over there, like Brittany Renner would say. Holy shit. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now, I want this to be a cautionary tale for black men, okay? For men in general, but mostly black men, because we're supposed to be the janitors of the dating world and the community and shit, okay? We're supposed to clean up this shit, be stepdaddies and step up and shit, and I can't stand it. Nothing I can't stand more than women using sports analogies when talking about the bad decisions they made and their unwillingness to take accountability for it. All right? They're always talking about some step up to the plate and shit. Okay? Ain't nobody playing a fucking game. You better look around. There ain't nobody in that goddamn locker room. Ain't nobody sitting on that bench waiting to get tapped in and shit. All right? Nobody's going to swing bat and shit. They're playing some other game now. All right? Pretty fucked up. I'm glad Raven Yates was busted. Somebody snitched her out and shit, but she was hiding in some guy's apartment and shit. Okay? Looking all bummy and shit. I bet she wasn't even giving that guy none of her good. None of her wop and shit. That's a business. When she sat down on the chair, she was sitting on her fucking business and shit, okay? And some of these pictures, there's a lot of boudoir pictures and shit, and, a lot of videos of her twerking and shaking her stinking ass. This fucking disgusting. I didn't think I'd expressed this enough in the original video. I'm gonna do it now. Yeah, she grossed me out, man. I can't stand women like this. They're a walking disaster zone and shit, and they shouldn't be allowed to have kids. Okay, their kids should be taken away. All right, they're fallen women. They're beyond for the streets. They're for the alleys and shit. Okay, should put the motherfuckers in the alley. All right. Now I don't know what to say. In our community, a lot of these females are very hypocritical and shit. They like to discount and rug sweep and shit excessively, no matter what, even if they don't know the bitch. There's a ton of videos. There's just as many videos of her interacting with her own children, like a wholesome mother, as the ones that we see where she's advertising her wares and shit. She had a chunky body. She bitch was built like Yogi Bear. She had some flapjacks hanging from her chest. How about that? Huh? How about that? And she did a little business probably in Dubai. I saw some shit where they said, "Oh, she has business connections in Dubai." I just laughed and shit because I know she was over there. She was investing in the Doodoo Brown, the human toilet shit. She over there talking to Joe Camel shit to get my drift. All right, yeah, she's a real estate. They always in some like real estate and some other shit. I love how women in the community always talking about how they're business owners and they make businesses, but it's nothing that gives back to the community. It's nothing that sustains and circulates wealth and shit, money back into his own community, unless it's some beauty shit like fucking hair and nails and other bullshit that they do. Makeup, fucking soaps and shit. Does any of that shit go back to the community and circulate? You got all these women, they say they're the most educated and everything. But what have they done for their community? They hit the escape pod out of that shit to wherever the fuck they want to be, with whoever they want to be, even if it's with each other. But they didn't do nothing to sustain the communities, and that's on their mothers. That's why we say there's no more matriarchs and shit. Because they didn't teach these women how to sustain anything, to be a nurturing presence, even in their own fucked up, masculinity and shit. You're still a woman under there, aren't you? Look at this woman. She abandoned her children. She just got the fuck out. She was making moves and shit, right? And she making moves, but she can't even the kid had a phone. Her 12-year-old had a fucking phone. She could have cash apped her 12-year-old. She could have got a Cash App account and gave the girl the card, and the girl could have ordered groceries and shit. All she had to do was send money to their Cash App, and the girl would have money. Let's see, I'm talking like a deviant right now. I'm like, man, don't you care about your family? Fuck no, she don't. She come first. That's why she on the Instagram talking about the prices done went up and shit. I'm like, well, who wants to see you? And how do you take that? I was wondering. I was like, well, I think Vice will probably catch her. In Alabama where she was apprehended. I thought the Vice Squad would catch her. All they had to do was just set up a sting. Say, oh, cool, I'll take that. I'll go on her OnlyFans and hit her up and shit. And then when she come to the hotel to get her cheeks clapped, she'll get the handcuffs clapped on her fucking wrist, and they'll throw her in the back of the paddy wagon and shit. And eventually it did happen, but only because people snitched. A lot of black women snitched on her. Okay, y'all like taking credit for shit. Okay, y'all hate that going against the sisterhood shit. I seen a lot of shit with women talking about, well, we don't know what's really going on, and I'm like, man, shut up with that shit. Take that shit, take that white supremacist narrative, and shove it. Man, fuck. They're children. Just think about the babies and shit. Think about the motherfucking babies. The babies you guys like to love to accuse black men of making this shit, haphazardly. Oh, black men make baby mamas and shit. They can turn you into a baby mama. Like bite you on the ass. And now you're a baby's mama and shit. And we're strong. Strong, independent, don't need no man. But I'm a delicate little flower. When it comes time for the bee, fucking black man, a pookie, you just come up to me and bend my ass over and make me a baby's mama and shit. And I don't have no say in it, even though I'm strong as fuck and I'm built like a motherfucking linebacker with my neck in the fucking layaway. Like this bitch right here. Yeah, I saw that shit. You know how it was really hard making that original video. I had to do so much editing so that YouTube wouldn't, blast my channel. I had to do so much editing and covering shit up because she was just flapping everywhere. Now, she ain't no whole snack, okay? Makeup really is, some people call it witchcraft and shit. I call it bitchcraft. This chick was a bitch. She reveled in the attention she was getting, okay? If you want to fuck up black women and shit, like narcissist women in general, just turn off social media. Just think if they turned off TikTok for 6 months over here in this country. And Instagram. Just think they turned that shit off for 6 months. Nobody would be able to. These chicks would be jumping out the window like the stock market crash of the 20s and shit, okay? Probably get a lawsuit going. Say, oh, you fucking with my livelihood and shit. Well, your brain is mush. You got nothing but oatmeal between your fucking ears. Look at this bitch right here. She brand new up on Instagram while her kids fending for themselves. They're raising themselves. I'll be like, shit, ma. Hey, you don't give a shit, nigga. Make sure you hit that Cash App. You get your ass on that corner. You work. You sell your ass. You get out there. You sell your ass, nigga. You go walking up and down them fucking streets, looking them car windows and shit, and you make sure you hit that cash app on your children. Okay, that's why I want her to go to jail and be locked up in that bitch. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know how it goes in Alabama or Texas or wherever the fuck they're gonna. She's gonna be extradited. You know, I don't know how it goes, but I remember when I lived on the West Coast. One of my female cousins was an idiot. She ended up in jail for like a week, and I went over there to see her. And them women had a strict hierarchy in that bitch. Okay, and if you do something they don't like, it was your ass. Well, just like niggas. Matter of fact, when when I went to see my the unfortunate relative in there, a female relative, while I was talking to her on that little phone, a stud lesbian opened the door and walked in while I was talking to her, and took the phone and started talking to us like we was her family. And I just said, hey, I told my cousin after the bitch left, because that bitch looked like Biggie. She had a face like Gary Coleman, and she was built like Biggie and shit. I told my cousin, I said, hey, when your ass get out, man, call us up and shit. And I'd be waiting behind the door with something to take care of old girl. She come up in here. There ain't gonna be no female Debo in my fucking, because I was like cohabiting for a minute there. Anyway, whatever. I was on a tangent. Raven Yates has been busted. She will be brought to justice. She smiles sweetly for the camera. I have this picture here of her fucking ass, smiling and everything in the car, looking fucked up, looking like the reality behind the fake up, So she's gonna be, getting justice. But I just want you guys to think about it, okay? I want you to know that there are like thousands of other Raven Yates out there that we don't even know about and shit. Some is even worse than she is, doing the most and shit, destroying children, destroying families and shit with their bad decisions, top to bottom and shit, and in the future. Okay, women like this, once you have a kid with them and shit, they control your future. Not just you personally, but the direction of your family can be derailed by a bad decision made by a female. Especially the females in our community, they claim they run it. They claim they're the background, the backbone of it and shit. And you see the condition it's in, okay? You see why motherfuckers are bailing out of this bitch. It's like it's on fire and shit, like fucking Mordor. Okay? I want you to understand that. Keep your head on the swivel, protect your assets, and above all, please protect your seed. Please strap up. Wear a condom or shit, okay? Don't be the next baby daddy for, motherfucking, don't be the next baby daddy for Raven Yates.
My niggas done told me facts. Fuck niggas get fucked on. Op bitches get dumped on. Good pussy get sucked on. Type of shit that I'm up on. He told me he had a long day, so I bring out that tsunami. I'ma blow that nigga top off, cause he said he like it sloppy. I like running up my own check, don't